Good morning and welcome to 12.4, Make a Concrete Graph. Today it's page 509, 509. So I do not have cubes, which means that we're going to have to draw some in order to make a graph. And this first page wants orange and green. So if you have cubes at home, you're more than welcome to use cubes while doing this, and just use the space in front of you on your table or your desk. Otherwise, if you do not have cubes, you can do what I am going to do with my crayons. So on page 509, the directions say, place a handful of orange and green cubes on the workspace. This is the workspace in this purple area. It says, sort and classify the cubes by the category of color. Move the cubes to the graph by category. Draw and color the cubes. Tell a friend, Mrs. Kane and Mrs. Hall, how many are in each category. So if you have cubes, then put a couple of orange cubes out. If you do not, I would like you to draw along with me. I'm going to go ahead and put one orange cube, two, and it doesn't matter what side they're on. They're just, if I was to bring out cubes, I would probably just roll them onto the mat. So they could be wherever, and you can go ahead and just put them up there. And you actually don't have to count them right now. Just put however many you want to put on. And then I'm going to take my green crayon because I don't have green cubes on me. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a couple green cubes out there on my mat. Workspace in front of me. Alright, so now we have to now count them, and we have to place them by category. So these are the orange ones, and you will draw them in the graph here, and these are the green ones, and you will draw them here as we count them from our mat up above. So I'm going to go ahead and count my orange. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 6 cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I had just enough space on my graph for my 6 orange cubes. Now I'm going to take my green one, count my green cubes, and place them on the green cube spot category on my graph. So let's count our green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I made it perfectly even. So I have 6 green ones. Now you may have a different graph because you may have more than 6 for orange, more than 6 for green. And if that's the case, you just go ahead and add them to you can go off the graph and add one more. If you have 7 orange, or if you had 7 green, you could just add one more there. Or if you only had 3 orange and 5 green, then you could put 3 orange and then 5 green. But this is how we're going to see it organized. This was the orange, so we categorized all our orange squares or cubes. And this is our green category, and we organized all our green ones. So now we're going to go ahead and tell a friend how many are in each category. So I will record on Seesaw to Mrs. Hall and Mrs. Kane, I had 6 orange cubes on my mat and 6 green cubes on my mat as well. So when you record on Seesaw for Mrs. Hall and Mrs. Kane, tell us how many orange and how many green you had. Excellent. Let's go ahead and turn the page to page 510, 510, 510. And again, this is our workspace here that we're looking at. It says, number 1, place a handful of red and blue cubes on the workspace. Sort and classify the cubes by category. So I, again, do not have cubes, but I have my red and blue crayons. So I'm going to go ahead and start drawing red cubes on my workspace up here. So I'm going to go ahead, 1, and you don't have to count them when you're putting them on. And now I'm going to take my blue and I'm going to throw on some blue cubes onto my workspace. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and count them so that I can put them in categories. Here's our red cube, and so all my reds are going to go across on the graph here. And then here's my blue cube, and all the blues are going to go right there. So let's go ahead up here to my workspace and count my red. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 1, 2, 3, 4. And then now it's time to count our blue. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put my blue cubes in the blue category. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. And then down here for number 3, it says, write how many of each cubes you have. So we're going to go ahead and remember we counted these, but you might have to recount if you don't remember. So let's go ahead and recount so we can put our right number down here. 1, 2, 3, 4 red cubes. So I'm going to put a nice 4 on the line. And we're going to go back up and recount our blue just to make sure we put the right number down here. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to put a 3 there. Good job. All right, moving on to page 511, 511, 511. And our workspace is nice and neat up here. And it says, place a handful of green circles and triangles on the workspace. So we're going to go ahead and put green circles first. So I don't have circles and triangles just to put out there that are green, so I'm going to use my green crayon. So there are my green circles. Now I'm going to go in and put my green triangles. All right, now we're going to categorize them for number 5. We're going to put them in the green circle area. All our green circles are going to go here. And then where the green triangles are, all our green triangles are going to go here on our graph in the correct category. So let's go back up to our workspace and count our circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 4 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to go back up and count my triangles. 1, 2. So I'm going to go to my green triangles and write 2. 1, 2. Excellent. Now for number 6, it says to count how many circles I have and put the correct number. So let's go back and remind ourselves how many green circles we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go ahead and write a really nice 4. And then I'm going to go back up and count my green triangles. 1, 2. And I'm going to go ahead and write a nice 2. Excellent. Go ahead and turn the page. And now we are on 512. 512, 512. For this one it says, use 5 cubes of 2 colors. Color the cubes to show the categories. Draw and color to show what you know about making a graph with those cubes. How many in each category? Write the numbers. So because I have red and blue in front of me, I'm going to go ahead and do red and blue again. You can do whatever color cube you would like on top and whatever color cube you would like for our second part of the graph. And then don't forget, you also need to have a red and blue if you choose to have those 2 colors as your cubes. But you have to have the same 2 colors that you used for your graph down below so that you can write your number of how, Mrs. Hall just colored that red because I was talking, but this has to be blue so that you can color your cubes and make sure that when you go to count your cubes from your graph, you can write them in the right spot. So if you make a mistake, go ahead and just correct it. It's no big deal. We just fix it and we make it better. So I colored that red by accident because I was busy talking, and I just went ahead and fixed it by going over it with blue. On Seesaw, you can erase and fix it. If you're doing it on paper, you can erase and fix it as well. Excellent. All right, I'm going to pretend that I just rolled a couple of red and a couple of blue cubes out on my workspace, and I'm going to put them up here in this extra space. And I'm not going to count right away. I'm just going to put a couple on here, and then after I will count. Okay, let's start with red, and we're going to count our red that were rolled out onto our workspace. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go ahead and put 4 cubes out on my mat, my graph. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now it's time to grab our blue one and count our blue up at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go ahead and put 5 blue on our graph. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to put how many red and how many blue on the line. So as a reminder, we're going to go back up and count our red. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to write the number 4. And as a reminder, we're going to go back and count our blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put our nice number 5. And I hope you enjoyed making graphs today, and keep working hard. Have fun.